I'm going to call this one Cecil Ryu Ground Fighting for Women. But it's not going to be what you think.
Where them kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying?
Another YouTuber, and I should mention his name because I'm actually saying something quasi-positive about him, but I'm not. He's done a video that is ground fighting for women. And I want to say right off and blatantly honestly, stuff he showed in the video was good. Stuff he showed in the video was great. It was fantastic. But having said all that, I'm going to tell you right now, it still hasn't changed my general view on ground fighting classes for women or really self-defense for women, period. Because my view is that I don't believe in self-defense for women classes. I think women need to enroll in classes along with the men and work out with men that they can trust and men that are honorable who are going to push them and push them and push them and let them get used to live male resistance on a long-term basis. Now, in the video I'm talking about, he didn't say for women not to train with men. His argument is have the men learn the techniques and come home and give it to the women. That is something else I actually agree with. In fact, in terms of family martial arts, and I've said this in other videos, I would prefer if I could train daddy and then daddy go home and train the rest of the family. That's what I would like in a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world. So the best thing is for women to take martial arts classes. And if women want to learn ground fighting, they should enroll in judo, jiu-jitsu, or Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Now, there are some aspects of ground fighting that are in Taekwondo too. Not everybody that does Taekwondo knows them. And most of the ground fighting stuff for Taekwondo involves you fighting from off your back, like striking at people from on your back, which is good. So that's why what I do, by blending Taekwondo and Judo into Cecil Ryu Taekwondo, I'm going to give you everything from both aspects. Meaning the wrestling stuff is good that women would have. That'll get them used to somebody being up close and being on top of them. And when you integrate the striking in there from the ground, they're going to learn how to kick at people from on the ground. And what's interesting about it is that with my female students, I have not really had to say, oh, when you fall to the ground, start swinging and kicking. I may have mentioned it a couple of times, but I haven't had to drill it that much because since they're getting input from striking side and grappling side, but they're striking majors, when they fall to the ground, they keep swinging, they keep kicking at people. Unless I tell them, we're just going to do judo mat work. They'll swing at you. Now, some other people who automatically have this in them too is, I would say, anybody who trained in the 80s. Everybody I know who trained at some point in the 80s, even if they had to stop like I did, if you were doing definitely if you were doing Tang Sudo back in the 80s, maybe karate too, but I know for sure Tang Sudo, we would have moderate to light contact standing up, but once you fell on the ground, if anybody fell on the ground, the person on the ground was allowed to do full contact. So if you tried to jump on them and mount them, they were allowed to punch you in your face, to kick at your knee, to mess your knee up, to try to sweep you and knock you down as soon as you fell on the ground. So basically, keep swinging once you're on the ground. A couple of things that women can do. Oh, one more thing that I thought was good is pressure points. Pressure points were brought up. Yes, women should definitely learn about pressure points and structural weak points on the body and how to use those from the ground. That right there is also where the flaw will come in of have a man wrestle with her. Not just any man. He's got to be a man that knows about pressure points. And this, I should make a separate video about this too. Like there's some parents that like will beat up on their kids, and I don't mean in a bad way, but they want to teach their kids how to fight, but the parents don't really have a lot of training and fighting themselves. So they think, I've got my child to where, they can handle me, so then they bring them to my class. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular, because this is something that just happens on the regular. This happens a lot. And they bring the child in, and the child is still white belt level. Maybe they've gotten to a stripe on their belt from me, a stripe on their white belt from me level, or orange. No, not even orange belt level. Maybe at yellow belt level under me, tops, which is not a lot, which is not very high. It is enough to beat up the average person, yes, but it's not that high of a level of skill, which is why if you want your kids or if you want the women in your life to learn how to really fight, take that long way around. I'm going to use the metaphor that my uncle gave me, God rest his soul, and it applies to a lot of stuff in life. He said it, and the guy who lived 2 houses up from us, Mr. Uzzle, used to say it too, because they both knew how to lay bricks. And that's what they said. You know, a house, said, Cecil, look at these houses they're throwing up nowadays. They both said the same exact thing. Look at these houses they're throwing up nowadays. Throw them up all fast, and then something happened to the house, the wind comes and just blows right over. A house that's built brick by brick has a good foundation and lasts a long time. But when you throw off something really fast, you see what they put on there? The stuff look like it's made out of cardboard. You throw up a cardboard house, it's going to crumble as soon as it gets wet. And that's what I feel about a lot of quick fix, self-fix stuff. You guys, you ladies, you whoever you are, you get impatient. I don't want to do all that. I just want to take a self-defense class. And it's not like you're doing Krav Maga. No, because that would require some time. Don't think I'm going to, because Krav Maga's focus is self-defense and I'm down on Krav Maga. I'm not down on Krav Maga. I'm down on people who would take 3 Krav Maga lessons and think they know everything. No, because in Krav Maga, it's Krav Maga ongoing classes. See, that's what you need. You need some ongoing classes. At least a year's worth of ongoing classes. With some men and maybe some women too who can really give you some good resistance. So that the ground fighting gets in you and it gets to be second nature. And then you can learn about that and some pressure points too and learn how to strike from the ground. So that's my take on ground fighting for women. You could just, and children, you can just look at the video where I said, just take judo. Judo, or if you don't have judo near you, some judo, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or Jiu-Jitsu, or even American wrestling, Western wrestling will be good for you if you want to learn how to fight on the ground and you're a female. Bridge, learn how to bridge. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and please share it with people who like to talk about the martial arts. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you watch the video, sub, and peace.